kill John Proctor's wife, and so she can use John Proctor. I used to. And I also said that she started the witch trial just to save herself image, and she didn't confess at any time, and she decided to leave instead of telling the truth at the end. So that would like cause John Proctor's demise and everything.
So you said Abigail?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's who you said? You said John Proctor. Why?
So I chose John because since he cared about his good name so much, he didn't want to confess to the council
About his affair.
Yeah, about his affair. So since he did it too late, and it was a little too late, they had like a little distrust in him. So that's into my second reason.
Okay.
They called in Elizabeth, and because Elizabeth knew that her husband liked his name so much, that she lied about him being a butcher, and that made
So you've also put some blame on Elizabeth then. Okay. And what you said, John Proctor also?
I said the same reasoning, and then at the end, like when he signed the paper and then he ripped it because of like his good name, he didn't like want his reputation out, like about what he did.
So it's too little, too late. So none of you guys blame Danforth,
I was
the judge.
Yes, when I saw that, I was like, dang.
I think it's Abigail and Danforth.
You do.
Like, they kind of started the witch trial.
They fed off each other.
Yeah.
And also, like, I have been thinking about this question, but Abigail was a child. So really, it seems to me the adults should take more responsibility. But Abigail definitely played them. That's good thinking, you guys. So now you have to come to a consensus. So you have to debate between Abigail and John. Who do you think's going to win? John? You said Abigail?
The council said it.
Okay, well, good luck. I can't wait to hear what you decide on.
So, like, this assignment that I guess they're doing is, like, they're broken into groups, and they have to decide, like, who led to John Proctor from the Crucible's, like, demise, John or Abigail. And I like how they did this, where they're, like, breaking up into small groups, and then they're going to come together and, like, debate it, because I feel like it gives more, like, involvement for the students and less, like, teacher telling you this is what it is.
I think it's also really unique how she's choosing to record her video, because in a lot of the other videos we saw, they had someone just recording from the back and it was just the teacher up front giving a lesson, just kind of lecturing to the students. And so I really like how she's not only encouraging the students to get involved with each other, but she's getting involved by going around to each group and holding the camera and talking to them. And she's getting each student to talk by specifically asking them each questions. And then she talks about it with them herself and kind of engages with them.
Who are you guys saying?
John Proctor.
John Proctor. You both said John? Oh, there's three. Okay, so why?
Because he didn't want to, like, he didn't admit to his relationship with Abigail because he wanted to keep his good name. And at the end, where he didn't sign the paper because he wanted to, like, keep his name, have the good reputation and not have people, like, sullying his good name whenever they see it on the church.
So, go ahead.
Also, it was so big that even his wife was like, no, he didn't cheat on me.
Interesting. So, what do you think he should have done?
He could have, yeah, I think he at least confessed to his relationship with Abigail earlier. But if like that had already passed, then I think he should sign the paper so that he can do something about it.
You mean at the end he should have signed the paper?
Yeah, like he could have done something like to at least clear his name if he was alive.
Oh, so you feel like he should have signed it and then taken steps afterwards to get everything cleared up. But the best action would have been to
Stop it at the beginning and say he had like a relationship with Abigail.
none of it would have happened.
Yeah.
But the relationship with Abigail, do you think that's what started them dancing in the woods?
So, like, looking in the video, you see, like, cards. So, like, here, here, and here. I think they use cards to split into groups. because a girl in the first group also was holding a card. So I think that's like a pretty good idea to where it's not like people are just picking their friends or like picking who they think would be like the smart kid in class. It's more like random assignment and not even like just counting off, because then there are some kids out there that will like sit strategically. So like using the cards, I feel like it's a good idea to where it's not as like, or to where it is random, to where no one's like trying to get into groups with certain people.
And I think something also really great about that is, again, that because they're not choosing who they want to be with, they're kind of forced to get different perspectives. Like in the other group, how two of them said John and the other said Abigail. Whereas if you were with your friend, you might be more encouraged to agree with them and just go along with them.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know exactly what time this is taking place, but I think in general, whether it's in the beginning of the year or the end of the year, it encourages students to kind of get to know each other as well and just meet more people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, like wanted Chuba, love spell
Right.
to marry him. And then
And also, I think one of her things was to like kill John Proctor's wife, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Like she whispered in Tituba's ear to like have her killed. Tituba was like no, and that's when she went on berserk.
She did go berserk. So you guys all agree? Oh, good. Okay, they were debating over there between John and Abigail. I'll be interested to see what most people come to.
Abigail, I think, didn't want to keep her reputation. She just wanted to get.
She just wanted to get out of the situation.
She either wanted to get out of the situation or just to get home.
Yeah. That's interesting. So her motivation is a little bit different.
Yeah.
but at the end of his reputation, he was like a good person.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the rest of the
Thanks, guys. Good job. What are you guys deciding?
I also kind of like how they're focusing on more like real topic within like the Crucible instead of just focusing on like, ooh, witchcraft, because like that's not really the point of it. But that's where a lot of people take the Crucible, to where they'll end up having discussions over like, do you think they were actually witches, instead of like talking about the real like topics within the book.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I like that she's encouraging them to like talk about those topics too. And instead of just saying like, who do you think, John or Abigail, she's going and asking further questions on that to get them talking. And it kind of sparks conversation about similar things that can be applied to real life.
Yeah, she's making them kind of like elaborate on why they came to this decision, instead of just letting them be like, oh, we choose John, and then just move on to the next group. She asks them questions like, well, why? And with the group that chose like Abigail, she's like, well, have you thought about the fact that like she is a child and he was like an adult, and how does that like change your perspective?
Yeah, exactly.
I said John Proctor, just because of like the fact that
Is it the four of you? Oh, okay.
just because of like the fact that he told them that he gave them like he got the confession already, but they still wanted to put it on the church door, and he didn't want them to do it. So like instead of confessing and then him taking his name, he just
Okay, so they said something similar, that he should have signed the paper and then cleared his name afterwards. Is that what you're saying?
I mean kind of, but like it just shows how much he actually cared about his name, because he died for his name.
Right.